You're in San Diego for a Padres game, but Petco Park is just the first inning. From gas lamps to aircraft carriers to tacos, here's what you need to see and do for a perfect visit to America's finest city. Welcome to Liberty Station. It's a multi-use development that's about 360 acres large. It used to be a naval training station. Back in 1915, the then Assistant Secretary of the Navy, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, scoped out San Diego. Construction on the facility finished by 1923. At the height, during World War II, there were more than 30,000 personnel that lived here. 1.75 million recruits and about 1 million sailors graduated from this training facility. But sadly, in 1997, it closed its doors after the base realignment and closure committee decided it was time to call it a day. But in 2000, the city took it over, and this is what we have today. They kept the buildings here. A lot of the buildings are historic. Besides being a great place to see what San Diego's naval station used to look like, it's also a mecca for food, shopping, and craft beer. We're now at Balboa Park, just minutes away from the stadium. Not only is it one of the largest public parks in the United States at 1,200 acres, it's also home to unbelievable museums. We're not talking your typical art museums. We're talking about science, space, model railroads, trains. There's a Comic-Con here, cars, and one of my personal favorites, the most visited zoo in the United States and arguably one of the best zoos in the entire world, the San Diego Zoo. And when you get into the park, you can ride this tram. In my personal story, I was engaged on the tram, so more than 20 years ago. See, while you're here at a Padres game is the Gaslamp Quarter, and you can't miss it. It's literally right outside the stadium. What it is 16 square blocks, give or take, and it is a collection of restored Victorian office buildings, more so than any other place west of the Mississippi River. Get a good feel of what San Diego used to be like back in the 1800s. You can go to a museum, and there are walking tours, but only certain days of the week, so check the website to make sure you can sneak one in. Great dining options as an alternative to ballpark food. If you come to San Diego and you decide not to rent a car, and you don't have to, you will have to skip out on visiting Liberty Station as well as Balboa Park unless you want to take an Uber or something. But what you can walk to is the Gaslamp Quarter and the Embarcadero. Get this great water view, but unlike most water views, you get something else, not just boats, but you get this guy behind me. It's an aircraft carrier, the USS Midway. It was built during World War II, and it was the largest ship anywhere in the world till 1955. It served for 47 years in World War II, Korean War, Vietnam, and Operation Desert Storm. Even if you don't make it onto the aircraft carrier, come to look at this incredible statue. It's a recreation of a photo that was taken in 1945, August of 1945, in New York's Times Square. It shows a sailor kissing some random female, just showing the incredible joy the American people felt after beating the Axis powers after all those years of fighting.
Welcome to Petco Park. My name is Brian. The name Padres comes from the mission system established by the Catholic Church in California in the late 1700s. San Diego was the first mission, and the person that ran a mission was called Padre, which also means father. 1948, we're still a minor league team. A lot of people wanted to come to this game just like tonight, and instead of saying no more tickets, we told them, why don't you just sit on the field? There's a center fielder. We came here to Petco Park in 2004. You see the bricks underneath your feet? Well, the ones with the hard hats, they helped build Petco Park. PETA, the animal rights organization, was mad at Petco, the pet store, and they kept trying to get a brick in that said, Petco sucks, we hate Petco, all that kind of stuff, and we're like, no, And so they finally got in this coated brick, and when we figured it out, we're like, they tried so hard, we'll just leave it, right? Pretty interesting. Western Metal Supply Company building is no less than the oldest thing in American baseball. This part of Petco Park was built in 1909. This building is also the foul pole. We actually designed the rest of Petco Park around this. Fenway Park in Boston, that's the oldest entire ballpark, 1912. We actually have a second Hall of Fame. This is called the Breitbart Hall of Fame. We had to update the building to all the modern fire codes, earthquake, all those kind of things. Preserving as much original things like these big old beams. Did I mention this building was the left field foul pole, which makes us just inside fair ground? If a ball comes our way, guess what? It's a home run. We're the only team that has any seats hanging over the field. You guys are hanging over the field right here. We have about 42,000 seats. They are all blue, symbolic of our missing blue sky and our blue ocean. We have a mission bell. We use that as part of our tradition here at Petco Park. For the game, we'll ring it a few times for good luck, and then when we're winning the game in the ninth inning, we'll ring it once when we get 1 out, twice 2 outs, and then 3 times when we win the game. The Padres love being a part of our community. We have every high school in San Diego County represented up there by the helmets of the boys baseball team from each school and the girls softball helmets from each school. We hang up this huge banner with all the current high school division champions. In addition to that, we try to host as many high school games as we can when the Padres are out of town.
Sit in this section, you're actually closer to home plate than the pitcher is. This is actually alive, and it takes the humidity out of the air to survive. Pretty wild. Ooh, it is alive.
Our most popular place is Hodad's. It's been on diners, drive-ins, and dives. Thank you very much for coming.
All right, the guide told me that I must try this. So it's a Hodad burger. See? Try it.
In the air, down the midfield, good field towards the seats. Also key to the pitches.
Quite yummy.
There you are.
Thank you. Banana pudding.
Hot dog.
Guys selling hot dogs even out here.
Hot dog.
Sitting on the lawn, you can't really see the field unless you stand. So it's basically you're hanging out on your lawn with a bunch of fans. That's kind of cool. Hey, what do you think of these seats? Not bad. 20 minutes out and well under face value. Thanks for joining me on Mary Goes Round the World. Here's my tip of the week for you. Parking near the stadium can be outrageously expensive. If you walk a few blocks away from Petco Park, parking enforcement stops at 6 p.m. Come early, sit in the car until 6 and park for free. Look for side streets near the water where the streets are safe.